in our first, wow, it's very loud. Okay, no, okay,
Yep.
come on here.
Okay.
It's better.
Thank you.
So it's in our first panel in the second day in Democracy for All. The first panel here is about new basics on competence in the Web3. We have our guests, our great guests. I'm honored to be here with them. So I want that maybe one of you, can you introduce yourself? Now later I have some questions, but I think they have a very great conversation. So come on if you want to introduce yourself.
Hello, everyone. My name is Xavier Baldó. I am CEO of Blockchain School, an academy that we help all people to understand how this amazing world will grow up and how they can enter in this amazing world.
Hi, I'm Pepe de la Rosa. I'm former professor at the University of Girona, and now I'm a UCL fellow and starting up a company.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Ben Baldieri. I am the Director of Communications and Growth for the Global Blockchain Initiative, which is a blockchain education nonprofit. I'm also the Chief Community Officer for VJ Art, Chief Community Officer for Bastion Cooperative, and the Chief Community Officer for Asymmetry Finance. So I'm busy.
Okay, so hi everybody. I'm Teresa Ferrer, and I'm the Curriculum Coordinator at St. Peter's School. St. Peter's is a school here in Barcelona, and we are really interested in all these new technologies, so this is we are here collaborating.
So thank you for all of these introductions. Now, if there is something in common, if there is a gap, we think, between the training offers and the demand for the talent. So in the world of education, we have to be agile since technology is moving, and a country without talent loses competition. So from my point of view, education starts with the little one. So this is why my first question jumps to Teresa. Now, like she said, he managed a team at Key 12 school. Now, this is one of the reasons why some Peter's schools have some pilot programs, like literacy labs and young edges. So could you explain us a bit, please? And of course, it's one of our colleagues, they want to jump into, they can do it.
Yeah, so what we see at the school is that all these topics, all these new technologies, they are really well thought at university level, master level degrees, but there is nothing going on in even primary school, middle school, high school. We feel our students are not like the students we had 20 years ago, 10 years ago. They really know things. They ask really interesting questions, and they really are into the wall now. So some of them, they might have wallets. Some of them, they might play with cryptocurrencies. And it's like a need that comes from them. Our teachers are really also into the wall of what's going on. So that's the perfect brewing kind of like place where to introduce these pilots. We do have units on artificial intelligence where we all come up together because we don't have an expert. We realize at the school level we don't have an expert on IA or on crypto or on metaverse, which we are still exploring there. We need to come up as a team, and if my skills are mathematical, I teach math, so I can put my input, I can show them what's going on through the maths. Philosophy, really important. From the social aspect of, it's a social, like blockchain, you can think about it as a social, even like our projection socially in technology. So that's what we kind of like, it comes from the needs from the students and the willingness from the teachers. And from the management team point of view, we let it grow. And we do have, we were working with even year twos, they are like 7-year-olds, 6-year-olds on blockchain, introducing blockchain through tales and stories. And moving up, we were able to kind of like create a miner. I mean, work with a miner, understand the program behind, and with Arduino. So there are many, many things you can do, many, many conversations you can have at that level, even with the little ones, that hopefully will stick in them. We want kids that they are engaged with learning and have a passion, and when they are little, we see those questions, etc. And we don't want them to kind of like lose that as they go up. That's our vision and mission.
Very good vision. I don't know if one of you wants to add something. If not, I want to jump to Luis, that he's as a university teacher. When students arrive to your classroom, I understand they have a multitude of choices. So the average is about 18 years old. So talking about competence and skills in Web3 is challenging. So many profiles along with the blockchain tokenization, like DeFi, as there's all standards and all vertical applications. You told me before about some new profiles as the centralized organization engineer.
Correct.
So which one profiles do you see in the future or with your students, or could you explain as well as some decentralized organization engineer means?
You're right. The point is there's need of new skills for all levels, but in my approach that I'm dealing with the grown-ups, the master and the students of the university. The thing is that when you are working with blockchain is collaborative action. You know, thing is when you apply blockchain or the principles of blockchain as a paradigm, you always go from this multidisciplinarity, always thinking of how you solve a problem from the point of view of collaboration. Imagine if you're trying to solve the problem of waste management. You know, you need to coordinate several number of partners, or you are dealing with the case of exports, international exports. For a container for being moved from one place to another, there are 30 partners all over the world and 200 transactions over there. So these are very long chains that when you try to apply the blockchain for this massive cooperation, you need a lot of skills, not only technical, and that's the thing, that there's a severe lack of people who are able to manage organizations, decentralized organizations. Decentralized organizations that deal with subjects like not only legal, financial, technology for sure, operations, you need to deal with, and then the specificities of blockchain, tokenomics, and decentralized organizations at all. So the thing is that for students of university, being them of the background of civil engineers or being legal or being whatever the backgrounds, you need to add them this vision of the centralized organizations, because this is the new paradigm. It's not technology. It's about how you deal with the change, the management of change with people indeed. Just a simple example, you have to, starting up a decentralized organization of 2 partners, just 2 partners. These 2 partners presumably will have several providers. So let's imagine just simple case, 2 providers, 2 partners. You have 4. And at every one of these partners, you have to deal with many profiles: legal, administrative, operations, commercial, marketing, stakeholders, management, consumers, marketing. You deal with at least 5 areas out of several many. 5 times 4, it means 20 profiles at this simple case. And you, as a designer, as this need of students that are skilled, equipped with these capacities of managing this type of projects. So, and ending my position, the thing is, today we have at the master level a very prestigious teaching or education. That's the Master of Business Administration. The ones who were feeding this master were so many profiles, from engineers to legal, in between all the other societal and technological profiles. The thing is that now we need to move forward and create something inspired from the blockchain paradigm. And this should be something like the Master of Decentralized Organizations. The difference of one and the second is that this does not exist. The second, the Master of Design Decentralized Organizations, does not exist, has no prestige, but would be the next prestigious master. MBA will be from top-down management. The MDO will be from bottom-up management of these organizations. And that's the thing we need to advocate and create the next generation of leaders based on this background, from graduate level till master level.
Thank you. I don't know if you agree, if you want to...
I think to add to that as well, the development of new skills is super important, and understanding the context and the systems that this new technology fits into. But then equally, there's the understanding of how to leverage and apply existing skills in this new paradigm as well, because owing to the way that the space is developed, there is this connotation that in order to get into blockchain at the moment, you have to be from a finance background or from a technical background, which isn't the case. As Pep was saying, there's a need for an understanding of the legal side, the marketing side, community development, community empowerment, making sure that everyone is understanding how to effectively use whatever the platform or the organization is properly. And to do that effectively, the multidisciplinary approach is super important, and then being able to provide people with the skills that they need to understand the technology enough to leverage the skills that they already have. So if there's someone from a, say, non-traditional background, as it were, they're not necessarily from a finance background, maybe they don't have a technical understanding, but they have an excellent set of marketing skills, getting someone up to the level where they feel comfortable and competent enough to be able to lend those skills to whatever that project is. That's also a super important thing. So I'm very interested in the classes and decentralized organizations. I'd be very interested in that.
I know, I'm just, thank you for the word, because I just taken that existing method that with an MBA, you took some other with basic or whatever background, and you equip it with the missing links or missing skills necessary for management. You know? So this is the same. Whatever background you have, add you the missing skills till you are able to manage decentralized bottom-up organizations. That will be the next MBA, will be the MDO.
Xavier, I want to jump to you because you are the CEO of a blockchain school. So what do you think, what capacities or skills they need to have? And what do you think will be the biggest opportunities more or less in 20 years? I know that as well, your school is trying to implement these blockchain skills in people who are not very early adopter, we could say.
It's so curious that because when I started 2 years ago with blockchain school, we started like as a academy of blockchain, right? How do you can implement that in a real life? How do you can implement that for banks or something like that? But it was so difficult when I realized when I asked my father, okay, Papa, I will start to make something in blockchain. He said, what is blockchain? What are you doing in blockchain? And I said, okay, a lot of people don't understand what is blockchain. Then I have to start with these people something that they can be like interest in blockchain, who more than money or something like that, right? Then they listen just Bitcoin is going up, Bitcoin 20, Bitcoin 60, something like that. Then I start with this part, showing that people that they can start in blockchain, they can start in cryptocurrencies. After that, I implemented blockchain with them. The skills is just to be curious, to be something like I would like to do that because, as I said, all my students are more students that they don't know, early birds. Then the principal skill is that they have to want something different in their lives. And for sure, the next opportunities in the next maybe 10, 20 years will be blockchain. Sorry. I split in two parts. That the first part is for investors blockchain, because they will find a lot of things in blockchain for investors. 10 years ago, just maybe 20% around of the world was investors from commodities or something like that. They don't know about invest, and most of them enter in blockchain without know about crypto. Then they are suffering all volatilities and something like that. Then for the next 10, 20 years, we will have more regulations about government, something like that. They can enter and find some opportunities inside of blockchain, inside of cryptos and something like that. The second part will be for all of these people that are working, 8 hours for a salary per month or something like that. They can start something different as a developers. We talked before about that. Just 2 years ago, I tried to start some projects in blockchain. It was like $1,200 per month that you just have to pay that, and he will work during 8 hours per day. But right now, if you want a developer for a smart contract or something like that, it will be like $100,000 per month. Imagine the next 10 years or 20 years, it will be a biggest opportunity for all of these people. Also for the rest of the world, as they said. For example, a lot of waiters or a lot of workers that we see, they don't know that they are maybe using blockchain in the future. They will use blockchain just for take some tickets or something like that, and it will be opportunities for all of them. Then for me are two parts, investors and workers. These two big opportunities for all of them. I'm completely sure about that.
So I don't know if you agree, all of you, if you want to add something to what Xavi Baldo.
Well, the thing is amazing that we are now teaching about blockchain, but we had not previously teaching about money.
Yeah.
No, there was no need to that.
Yeah.
There is need for blockchain for sure. And, but the connection is always about the currencies, about the value of the things. And,
yeah, I am always making some marketing that people can enter in academy or something like that, and I know that when I talk about blockchain, all people is like, what are you talking about? What is blockchain? No? Then this is a big connection when you connect blockchain with cryptos and something like that. They understand and they can enter. We need a lot of people here if we want to grow up and not suffer like blockchain will be like the next internet, because centralization is okay. Sometimes because you have a safe in your life. Now all people invest maybe in commodities because they know that there's a big bank behind or there's a big government behind. But in blockchain, we have to see 2 days ago, FedEx, right? Then now people is not safe with that. We have to be step by step, and then we will get it.
Ben Valdieri, I want to jump to you now again. The GBI mission is to solve the biggest 3 problems with education in the blockchain space. So can you explain us what are they and how will you do this? How GBI he's thinking about this?
So my journey into the blockchain space has been non-traditional, as is everybody's, I'm sure. I enrolled in a master's program with Ziggurat University, which is based here in Barcelona, and there are 2 people in the audience that are currently taking pictures of me. And from that, got far more involved in the education side of things. And GBI came about as a result of that program. And 3 things that we identified with blockchain education as a whole, and this is outside of the more kind of traditional academic approaches. Problem number 1, it's not always very good. So if you go onto YouTube, for example, and you type in blockchain, you'll get several pages of why you should buy this particular dog-themed token because it's going to go to the moon, or why this DeFi protocol is providing sustainable yields of 1,000% APY. Obviously, that's not the case. You go a few pages in, there'll be a 6-minute video from the Said Business School from Oxford, why you should join their blockchain strategy program. But in terms of the quality educational content that is available, that is going to teach someone about the base technical aspects, the social implications, the more philosophical aspects of the technology, it's not always readily available. The second issue is the content that is of that high standard, that is going to give you that solid foundation, that solid baseline, tends to be quite expensive. So it may be sat behind a paywall. It may be being taught by someone, again, with a slightly different background. I think my favorite example of that is there's a podcast host for a podcast called London Real. It's a guy called Brian Rose, and he ran for mayor in London during the pandemic, and I think he got 0.8% of the vote, so obviously didn't do particularly well. And then 2 weeks after that, he was running a DeFi academy, and he was pushing it as being like the next big thing, and there was a 4,000 USD price tag associated with participating in this. And some people are going to be able to afford this. The content may not be worth 4,000 USD, but the vast majority of people, that price point is simply too high. And then the third issue is a lot of the educational content that is out there at the moment, owing to where the markets have developed at this stage, tends to focus an awful lot on the English-speaking world. So there's a lot of focus on North America, there's a lot of focus on Europe, more in Dubai at the moment, owing to the regulatory changes that have come in and how positive the UAE government has been with support, Singapore, but then you're excluding Latin America, you're excluding Africa, you're excluding Central Asia, Southeast Asia, and these regions are the ones that ultimately probably stand to benefit far more from the application of those technologies. So with GBI, what we're looking to do is lower those barriers to entry and provide the content to individuals who are in those kind of non-traditional markets. This whole project kind of started with a bit of an innocuous email to my the master's director. And from that, we grew it into a free-to-enroll blockchain academy that we ran at the start of the year. We had 48 lectures from 48 different projects, ranging from the Cardano Foundation, the Algorand Foundation, AVA Labs, and we ended up with 4,900 students from 126 different countries. The majority of those students were based in Nigeria, Afghanistan, Iraq, Iran, the Philippines, and that kind of demonstrated to us that there is this massive need. So the overall mission for GBI is to help onboard the next billion users into the blockchain space. So at the moment, we're 4,900 through a billion, so we've got quite a way to go still. But our thought process is, as you were saying earlier, the 5 years down the line, everyone's going to be using it, but not necessarily everyone is going to know that they're going to be using it. And that's not necessarily a bad thing from a user standpoint, but if we think about the development of the internet, owing to where that development took place and how educational materials were distributed, we've ended up with several large companies who have effectively steered the development of the technology because it's been within their best interest to take it in the direction that they have. And again, this isn't necessarily a bad thing. But with blockchain, owing to how it can be applied and how easily it can be applied, our thinking is that instead of kind of going for the classic, right, this is a market, we've analyzed the market, we understand what the market needs, we'll build a product, we'll sell the solution, then we'll monetize that market by providing the educational resources to individuals who are in those markets and empowering them to identify the problems that they're experiencing on a day-to-day basis in their communities, giving them the tools that they need to build the solutions to the problems that they are experiencing, as opposed to kind of parachuting in and then extracting value. There's far, far more to be gained from it. It's a noble mission. The viability we'll see going forward, especially with, again, recent events and regulatory changes that are coming in, but it's been really interesting how different approaches and different thought processes from different locales end up feeding into it, because the needs of someone in Singapore versus the needs of someone in Nigeria versus the needs of someone in Kazakhstan, they're all going to be very, very different. And by giving that baseline grassroots education, there's a lot more value that can be unlocked.
So very interesting. So now I'm thinking how all of these things that he explained, you will explain to your father.
Okay.
So you have a good job.
I know the answer from him. Yeah. No, that's amazing. Amazing. We have to do that for sure.
So I understand that this is a big deal from your students.
Yeah, so just listening to you, I was like, okay, so I think we are quite aligned with creating future citizens of the world, kind of like guiding them, because we really focus on, or we really believe in the global, having a global mind perspective. and being aware of that, they had been maybe in a bubble, but they need to kind of like acknowledge that there are other realities, other ways of living, thinking, etc. You mentioned Africa and Asia and all those, so giving them the skills and putting them in different scenarios for them to start learning about this as they grow up. For sure, they will still work on this at the university level, masters, etc. But I think starting from the earliest as possible is good. Also, one of our pillars is factfulness. So just like know the facts, know the data. We try to instill this in our students because, as you said, not everything is good out there. They have amounts and amounts of information in front of them right there in the phones. Year 2, year 3 students, they already come to school with computers or wherever they want, like iPhones, etc., or phones. So we don't believe in like putting rules and walls. We want to educate them to be able to manage, because a phone is an extension of them. They kind of like started with that, and they see it naturally like something that belongs to their body almost. So it's kind of like guiding with the view, like our view in the future, like knowing what's going on and giving their best that we can for. But yeah, factfulness for sure, critical thinking, and having an open mind global, like in the global world for sure. Yeah.
Yeah, and I think just to add to that, at the moment as well, like owing to the ever-changing political situation that we are all currently enjoying worldwide, that wider context, the understanding that there are different ways of looking at things, different ways of doing things, and what's right for one area isn't going to be necessarily right for another area, what's right for one group isn't going to be right for another group, teaching that global perspective, and then more of a holistic understanding of, as opposed to like, this is what I do, this is where I am, this is how it works here. Presenting these technologies in the wider context as opposed to just in one specific market really helps with broadening that perspective. And what has your experience been with the junior students and the perspective that they bring versus the perspective that the older students that you're interacting with?
Junior meaning?
Younger.
Oh, the little ones.
Yeah.
They are sponges for learning and information. They are excited about everything. So I can give you tips for your dad as well on how to explain blockchain, because we did a pilot with year 2, so I was telling you about through a story, and what it comes from that. So we really value reflection at the end, and then is maybe when it comes, what's my position, what do I understand, maybe so now we are thinking about a project on metaverse with another. We see the metaverse as value, but we still don't understand fully. So I see it as a value of connection, maybe through us and someone in Africa you were mentioning, or to have different conversations. So I think that will give them the perspective of who we are here, and acceptance. We work a lot on acceptance of other cultures, languages, for sure, and being okay while you are in another context that is not yours, because that's is a struggle. If all of us grown-ups, we have a background. We had been studying somewhere, and we know how it feels when you don't belong, and the struggles that can, and they will go through this as they grow up. But if they have more skills than we had before, so that will give them a better possibility in the future. So exploring conversations and groups and reflecting and seeing where we are, where is everybody else in the world are, and how rapidly the things are changing. Politics, but technology exponentially, and not everything is good. So pros and cons of technology. Blockchain is amazing, but at what price? I don't know, is this hurting, not hurting, but is this impacting global change or global warming? All these ideas sometimes come from them, which is amazing, and then we kind of like pull the ropes and try to keep going with the conversation. So showing a holistic view, definitely.
Well, I have a question about this introduction to this new dimension of blockchain as a paradigm. how much is instructional and how much is driven by example or immersive cases. Now, again, from my perspective of trying to convert this Master of Decentralized Organizations in sort of new MBA, but bottom-up organizations, yes. Part of the method that was successful for the MBA was the case example, no?
Yeah.
Driven by cases.
Yeah.
The problem is that now with blockchain we have a lot of proof of concepts. Some of the ones who have grown up into full projects are into entirely decentralized digital world, but not still deeply involved in our organization. So we don't have good use cases. We are building them up. So I think that's the challenge, how we are creating our and introducing the next generation of leaders by example. So we need, again, there was one, I think I saw a question for the panel that other teachers of that we don't have because we are too busy doing stuff. So the only thing is doing by example. So yeah, initially the thing is that to attire all this attention and make them follow your lead is just today's starting up and training by learning by doing. So that will be the way with all the values of collaboration, all the values of that. What it means is that indeed the new architects of organizations will learn by applying themselves the movement of decentralized organization. So all the values of cooperation, governance, and thing, and liquid teaching, liquid instruction. This is dramatic change. So we are all learning. So the thing is that we will change the way of introducing these students into this new challenge at all levels. At all levels.
Yeah.
Time is running out, so I don't want if one of you wants to add something before maybe audience wants to say something to you, or I don't know if all of you wants to.
Yeah, I want to add something at that I realize that blockchain is so difficult to understand outside from us, and I think that one of the first points that we need is that all top governments can share with everybody that, because in that room, for sure that all are involved in blockchain. When we go outside, they don't know about blockchain. And all people are mixing blockchain with scams, with volatility and something like that. And blockchain.
Pyramidal.
Yeah, pyramids, yeah. Then we need something that, for example, the governments could say, okay, no, blockchain is an opportunity for the future, and you have to start to learn about that. And I am completely sure that all people will go behind this government saying, okay, yes, now it's my turn, I have to learn that. If not, for sure that universities can do amazing work, or a big college, but academies as blockchain school that we have around 500, something like that, students, it's a little bit difficult to get that in all of these people, just to say that.
Okay. Blockchain is not only the world of crypto. I don't know if you agree that sometimes blockchain is always in crypto and is as well, but it's not only this. So I don't know if you want to tell something. If not, time is running out, and I would like to wrap up more or less a bit. I would like to collect more or less the main ideas. I think that we have not to be afraid, and we must encourage to dive into the new technologies with the youngest students, like St. Peter's schools do, and educate the future talents. We have seen the new skills and the new future jobs like Pep USA and Ben Baldieri and Xavier Baldo, like with his academies. And I would like to finish like a country without a good education is a country without a talent. So let's fight for a democratic country with equal opportunities and without losing business competitions. Thank you for joining us. Thank you.